Welcome to this online session. So in this video, we are going to discuss about the one of the major application of op-amp as differentiator. Op-amp is normally used to different mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, integration, differentiation, log, anti-log calculations, signal conversion. So a lot of applications are there. So in line with this, we are going to discuss about the operational amplifier as an differentiator for differentiator application. So in the last video, we discussed about the op-amp as an integrator. In that video, we take an op-amp with an inverting amplifier, okay? And in that, we give some input resistance and a feedback capacitance to make the circuit as a integrator. So now for this circuit, whatever we are giving input, according to the input, the output will be the integrated value of the input voltage. So output V0 is equal to 1 by minus 1 by Ri into Cf integral of Vi dt. So that is the corresponding output voltage. Now in this differentiator circuit, we are going to do similar operation and we are going to find out the output voltage and some of the examples for the differentiator circuit. Before getting into that, what is the role of the differentiator in an op-amp? The rate at which the input may get changed will be identified using this differentiator. The rate at which the input may get changed will be identified using this differentiator circuit. And this differentiator circuit is used to find the high frequency component of the input signal. So it is used to find the high frequency component. It is used to find the high frequency component of the circuit. And it is one of the examples for a differential amplifier. So while drawing the differentiator circuit, what we are going to do is we are going to just replace the reactive components. Okay. So we are just replacing the reactive component like this. Just a minute. So this is an op-amp. So in integrator, we place the input resistance and feedback capacitance. We are going to replace it. So for differentiator side, this is the input V in. We are going to add a capacitor, that is the input capacitor Ci, and you will have a feedback resistance RF. Non-inverting terminal will be connected to the ground because it's the inverting configuration. So this will be the V0 output. Now we have to consider that the current flowing here will be I in. Let me change the pen color. The current flowing through the capacitor will be IC. And similarly, the current flowing through the feedback resistance is IF. And the output current will be I0. So here, we have to consider that the input current In is equal to IC, the capacitor current, which is equal to IF. Because in op-amp, the current getting into the op-amp will be 0. Here, the current will be 0. Okay, offset current will be there, but normally the current value will be considered as 0 for an ideal op-amp. So we know that capacitor current. So in integrator itself, we derived the capacitor current equation so that IC can be considered as IC is equal to IC can be derived as IC is equal to C into dVc by dt. C into dVc by dt. Where Vc is nothing but the capacitor voltage. So consider this is a node A, and this is due to the virtual ground. If here the potential is 0 volt, so Va will be equal to 0 volt. So at this point, considering node A, the corresponding Vc, okay, Vc will be considered V in minus Va, okay. So Ci into d to the times V in divided by dt, or we can write as V in minus VA. Since VA is equal to 0, we can write it like this. Let me change that to pen. So the corresponding capacitor current can be given as IC is equal to CI input capacitance into dVin divided by dt. Similarly, the feedback current IF can be represented as IF is equal to VA, the voltage VA minus V out divided by RF. So here VA can be represented as 0. So IF will be represented IF is equal to minus V naught divided by RF. So this will be the corresponding field current. Now substitute the values in this equation. Okay. So what will happen? So minus CI into dV in divided by dt is equal to minus V naught divided by RF. So what happened? So V naught is equal to minus RF into CI into dVin by dt. So this is the corresponding output voltage of an op-amp when it is using as a differentiator circuit for differentiator operation. So according to this equation, if we give a constant input voltage, so consider, so if you give a constant input voltage, then definitely the output will be 0. Then the output will be 0. So the output will be like this. So this will be the output. Or let me draw something like this. So the output will be, the output will be like this. So for a constant DC input voltage, the output will be 0 only. So now, what are the limitations of differentiator? Or we are going to discuss. Okay, limitations of differentiator. Limitations of differentiator. So now we are going to write the voltage equation, output voltage equation. In terms of output voltage equation in terms of reactance. So the output voltage V naught is given as V naught is equal to minus RF divided by XC. C is equal to, C can be represented as 1 by XC into VIN, where XC is equal to 1 by 2 by FC. 1 by 2 by FC. So the output voltage can be written as V naught is equal to minus 2 by FC into RF into VIN. So where this part can be written as gain A, where A is equal to minus 2 pi F into CI into RF. So here for the differentiator circuit, the gain is directly proportional to the frequency. The gain is directly proportional to the frequency. So as the gain increases, so frequency increases, definitely the gain will increases. So as the gain increases, so what about the frequency response? So for this condition, the corresponding frequency response can be drawn like this. So for the, let's consider, okay, for a differentiator, okay, so the gain can be drawn like this. So let us consider this is an, sorry. Consider this is an ideal op-amp characteristics. Okay, this is an ideal op-amp characteristics. So now the gain, what will happen as the frequency increases, the gain will increase from negative to the positive, and at a point, okay, at this point, what will happen? The gain will intersect with the ideal op-amp gain. Okay, ideal op-amp gain. So at that point, the maximum frequency has been achieved because this is a frequency. This line is the frequency line. This line is the gain line. This is a 0 dB. So initially, when the frequency start to increase, the gain will be less than 0 dB only. So at a point, it will reach the 0 dB. That point will be considered as the fundamental frequency F0. And as the frequency increases, the gain will increase for the differentiator because F is directly proportional to A. Okay, so at the point it intersects with the ideal op-amp characteristics. Up to then, until then, the corresponding gain will increases. After that, the corresponding gain will follow the ideal op-amp characteristics. So after that, the gain corresponding gain follow the corresponding characteristics follow the ideal op-amp characteristics. The gain will reduce. So up to that frequency only, the corresponding gain will increase. After that, the frequency, as the frequency increases, the gain will reduce and it will reach as 0. So falling gain property will occur in this kind of characteristics. So the corresponding characteristics of an integrated differentiator will flow like this. So it will flow like this. So it will increases from 0 to the maximum. After the maximum it attains, it will fall back to 0. So the frequency at which the 0 dB gain has been attained is called as a fundamental frequency or zero frequency. So this is denoted as F0. It is given as F0, and F0 can be written as 1 by 2 by RF into Ci. Now, due to that capacitance value and the resistance value only, the corresponding fundamental frequency will attain as soon as possible. Okay. So due to this characteristics, we can come to a conclusion that the corresponding gain of the differentiator is restricted by open loop gain, because due to the open loop gain, okay, when high frequency achieve, okay, when let's see the input impedance of this machine, okay, let's see the input impedance will be the capacitance only. So the input impedance can be represented by XC only. So XC is equal to 1 by 2 by FC. So as the frequency increases, input impedance, reactance value will reduce. As the reactance value reduces, the input impedance value will also reduces. Input impedance also reduces. As the less input impedance will be there, the corresponding gain of the system will act as an open loop gain. So during that time, you will get only the saturated output voltage. So to avoid this, we have to go for the practical differentiator circuit. And also, one more thing we have to consider is there will be no input offset voltage. Input offset voltage in the differentiator will be 0. Okay, neglecting this input offset voltage, we are getting some gain increment as well as the open loop gain possibilities are occurring in differentiator. And then this differentiator circuit is very sensitivity to high frequency noise. This differentiator circuit is very sensitivity high frequency noises. So this has to be mitigated to make the differentiator operated in the high frequency also. So in order to mitigate this issue, the gain issue, open loop gain issue, as well as the noise, we go for the practical differentiator circuit. Before going into the practical differentiator circuit, let's see some of the application of the differentiator circuit. Okay, so when we give square input to the op-amp, okay, you will get a pulsed output. Okay, because when you give square input, the corresponding the variation input variation is happening from at time t is equal to 0. So let's see. At this time t is equal to 0, the value of the amplitude has been increases from 0 to a maximum value due to the sudden change of voltage. Okay, so a small pulse will happening in the output of the differentiator. So this pulse may be draw like this. Okay, this lagging is mainly due to the capacitance effect. Okay, this kind of graph will be called as the impulse response. So if you need to get the impulse response, you have to add a capacitor with a certain range, as well as the capacitor range is increasing in the feedback side, input side, definitely the output will be flow like this. And similarly, when you give a sinusoidal input to the differentiator, you will get a cosine output which is negative because V0 is equal to, minus dvi by dt into R of Ci. Okay, so negative voltage will be there. So in differential of sin theta is minus, differential of sin theta is cos theta. Since we have negative, minus cos theta will be considered. So 90-degree phase shifter. So it will start from the negative peak and it will flow like this. Okay, so this is what the corresponding differential output for a given sinusoidal input. And similarly, for a triangular input, you will get a square output. So this is one of the some of the application for the differentiator circuit. Now let's go for the practical differentiator circuit. So in order to avoid the in order to avoid the open loop gain occurrence, as well as the reduce the frequency response during high frequency noise cancellation, we go for the addition of resistance and capacitor in the circuit. So let's see, this is an ideal differentiator circuit. Okay, this is an inverting terminal, this is non-inverting terminal. Non-inverting terminal will be connected to the ground. Okay, in inverting terminal, already we have capacitor. Okay, the input capacitor will be there. And in the feedback, we will have the feedback resistance that is represented as RF. Okay, and here we will have output voltage V0. Okay, and then in order to increase the gain, in order to suppress the gain within the limit, what we are going to do is we are going to add the resistance so that the input impedance value will maintain. So I'm going to add an input resistance. Okay, and then input signal will be given here like this. So this is V in. Okay, and to make the stability of the frequency response, to improve the stability of the frequency response of the system, I'm going for a capacitor CF in the feedback side. Okay, now what happened? The corresponding input impedance will become ZIN is equal to Ri plus JXCI. So at any condition, okay, the Ri squared plus Xc squared will be there. Okay, if the frequency is high, even though if the frequency is high, the Xc will be eliminated, but anytime the resistance will be there. So what we can conclude, at any time, the input impedance will be greater than or equal to the input resistance. And the input resistance impedance will be greater than or equal to the input resistance. So a small value at any time, a small value of impedance value will be maintained in the input side. Okay, and also due to the addition of the resistance in the input side, the corresponding gain of the system will be considered as A is equal to minus RF by Ri. So at any condition, the gain depends upon the feedback resistance as well as the input resistance. This gain will restrict the high frequency gain. Okay, this gain will restrict the high frequency gain. High frequency gain. So by using this input resistance, we could able to suppress the high frequency gain, and we make the in differentiator to act as a proper differentiator operation within the gain level. Okay, and also this capacitor feedback is used to improve the stability, to maintain the stability of the system. Okay, we go for this feedback capacitor. Here in this practical differentiator circuit, you should know that there are two low pass filters available. So this is low pass filter 1 and this is low pass filter 2. Okay, so due to the low pass filter, so the low frequency signal will be attenuated in this kind of differentiator circuit. But in case of differentiator, high frequency signals are attenuated. So the corresponding, if you see the frequency response, due to that addition of the input impedance value, so the frequency response can be draw like this. Let me draw it. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, so consider this is the gain and dB per decade. And this is the frequency in hertz. Okay, now as you know that, let me draw the ideal characteristics. Okay, sorry, ideal characteristics of an op-amp. Let me choose a color. Okay, so this is the sorry. So consider this is an ideal op-amp characteristics. Okay, so gain will be 100 dB or maximum gain will be there. Okay, AOL gain. Okay, now the for a differentiator circuit, as the frequency increases, initially this is 0 dB. As the frequency increases, the gain will start from the negative and it will reach the point F naught for a frequency. Okay, F naught frequency. So consider this is F naught. Okay, and then as the frequency increases, it will increases. But actually, when you see for a differentiator with the ideal differentiator circuit, as the frequency increases, the corresponding gain will keep on increases. This is for ideal. Okay, but in case of practical differentiator, what will happen? Due to the presence of the feed input resistance, okay, due to the presence of the input impedance, the gain will be restricted and it will maintain like this. Okay, this is a frequency F1. This is the first corner frequency. Okay, and the gain will keep on increasing up to a certain frequency level. After that, the gain will reduces by 20 dB and come back to 0. So the maximum cutoff frequency range will be considered as F2. So this gain reduction is due to the value of RF by RI. So this is for the practical differentiator. Practical differentiator. This is for practical differentiator. Well, F1 can be represented as F1 is equal to 1 by 2 pi into Ri into Ci. That is the input impedance. Second is the F2, which is equal to 1 pi 2 pi into Rf into Cf. That is the feedback impedance. So according to these two impedance value, the corresponding response of the system will vary. So, and also you should know that the corresponding F2, the upper cutoff frequency will be greater than the lower cutoff frequency. F1 is nothing but the lower cutoff frequency. and whereas the F2 is nothing but upper cutoff frequency. Okay. So at any condition, F2 will be greater than the F1 if F1 is equal to F2. If the condition are the corresponding frequency F1 and F2 will be same. That is nothing but Ri is equal to Rf, Ci is equal to Cf. So during this condition, the F1 will be equal to F2. So during that time, the corresponding frequency response of the system will vary like this. So what happened? The frequency will increases like this. Sorry, I want to change the color. Let me change it to green. Okay. The frequency will increase like this. And if F1 is equal to F2, so suddenly it will come back to the zero position. Okay, suddenly it will come back to the zero position. So this is what happened when the lower cutoff and upper cutoff frequency are same. And also you should know that the corresponding for a differentiator circuit, the corresponding supply frequency Fs should be equal to the 10 times lower than the upper or lower cutoff frequency. Okay, 10 times lower than the cutoff frequency. So in terms of integrator, the supply frequency will be greater than the fundamental frequency. The cutoff frequency 10 times அதிகமா இருக்கும். But in case of supply in differentiator, the supply frequency will be 10 times lesser than the 10 times lesser than the cutoff frequency. So this is the important thing you should know. And in this video, we discuss about the output voltage equation of the differentiator and frequency of the differentiator, ideal differentiator circuit. After that, limitations of the differentiator circuit has been discussed. After that, practical differentiator circuit has been discussed, and the frequency response of the practical differentiator circuit are discussed in this video. So kindly go through on the book, kindly refer the Rai Chaudhary book for further clarifications. Thank you.